Good morning and welcome to another money morning routine. Okay, I was just getting updated with highlighting all my spending on my checking account expense tracker. I had no transactions come out of my checking account. I do have some pending transactions in there, but they're going to be replenished with my Christmas sinking fund. I ended up buying our Christmas cards yesterday. Yes, I know, crazy, but they are done and I no longer have to worry about them and all the travel I have going on. I'm just kind of knocking things off of my list to make things for the rest of the year as easy as possible. 35 cards. It cost us, I think, like $69 or $65, so not bad. We don't do a lot of Christmas cards, but since we got family photos, if you follow me over on Instagram, then you will be seeing some of our family photos and a little bit more on a subject a little bit later today on my Instagram. But let's get all caught up on this. Okay, wow, and that's the first time I might actually have to go to a second page for my cash expense tracker, which I'll have to do back here. That's nuts. So, okay, so I'm updated with all my highlighting. Let's go over my cash spending. All right, so yesterday I went and did a small grocery haul for the week. So my oldest son, James, usually I split 50-50 custody with my ex-husband, but we decided this year that James will be staying with me for the entire summer, which is fantastic and awesome. I'm so glad to have him here, but it also means that I am spending more on course on snacks and food and other things. So I went to the store and got him some snacks. He loves like those goldfish crackers, a little bit of Sprite, got him some cereal, that type of thing. So food, I ended up, you can see the only thing in here that I have is my receipt. I spent all of my food envelope, so you can see that I ended up spending $79.72 right here. So I spent all $63, so $624 yolks. I spent the rest of my food envelope, which was $63. So that leaves me $0 left in my food envelope. But then I also took from my household envelope as well. So let's count how much cash I have left in my house envelope. Okay, so I have $43 in there, minus 17 from this envelope. So on 623, actually it was yolks, minus 17, $43. And you can see that 63 that I took from my food envelope and the 17 I took from my household envelope equals the $80 that I ended up spending at Yolks. So now my house and my food is taken care of, but let's go ahead and write that transaction here. So on getting low on my expense tracker here, 623 Yolks, food, $80. And if you follow me over on Instagram, then you will see I showed a small grocery haul on my stories on what I got with that. All right, let's talk about this very quickly because I did something, move these out of the way. I did something that I don't usually recommend. I stole from another envelope. Okay, that's what we call stealing from another envelope. I didn't have enough left in my food, so I took money out from my household, which is a completely different budget category for food. And and it happens sometimes. I don't recommend getting used to doing it constantly, but it happens sometimes. If you are going to steal from another envelope, make sure, one, that you have enough cash in the envelope that you're stealing from to last you the rest of your tracking period for whatever you need it for. I don't want you to steal cash from an envelope where you're going to end up needing that money for that specific budget category that you're taking it from. So you really want to look ahead. What do you have going on? So make sure that, like, for instance, for house, I knew with the short amount of days that we have left in the month, I was not going to need the $60 left for household. I have no plans to buy anything for household. So this was a good envelope for me to take it from. And when you're writing it down, even though I took it from my house envelope, it's still going under the correct food category that I truly spent it on my expense tracker. So I could have, if you look at the rest of my envelope, I still have money. I have $102 in fun. I have $50 in beauty. I have $50 in pets. I have $50 in miscellaneous. I could have took it from any of these, and I probably should have took it from my miscellaneous envelope. The reason I didn't is because I use my miscellaneous envelope for unplanned, unexpected expenses that pop up in between paydays that are not true emergency things. So, my son, this is a great example. My son came to me yesterday and said, "Mom, can I do a sleepover on Wednesday with some friends?" Well, that's not in my budget, but I wanted to give him a little spending money. I know sometimes they like to walk down to the gas station, get a Slurpee or whatever, right? Okay, so I'd like to give him $5 or $10. Well, that would probably come out of my miscellaneous envelope. It's an unexpected, unplanned expense that came up before my next paycheck, before my next tracking period. So it kind of acts as this emergency fund for non-emergency things, if that makes sense, right? We use our emergency fund for true emergencies, pipe burst, furnace went out in the house. This is more used for just unplanned, unexpected expenses, whatever they may be, like a sleepover, for instance. So if you're going to steal from another envelope, just make sure that you are stealing from an envelope that you know you're not going to need the money from that for its specific category before you use it, right? Like if I had a bill for a house expense in the next couple of days, then I wouldn't take it from this because I'm going to end up needing this money. So food is done. I'm closing out my budget on Monday. I think I can get to Monday we can make it work. We can definitely make it work with what we have here. So we just use some of the joint account to get Dante some like milk and things like that. So he's good. So everything is done as far as my expense tracker goes. Let's go ahead and go to the back of my month. My meal plan calendar. Yesterday, the 23rd, we had, if you followed me on Instagram, we had spaghetti. So no eating out there, which is really good. This weekend is going to be crazy with Hoop Fest. We have a friend coming in from out of town that's going to be staying with us Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have Hoop Fest Saturday and Sunday, which means we're probably going to be eating out then. And you're probably going to be asking Nico, if you're eating out, what money are you going to use? Great question. Well, it's going to either have to come from, right, one of my cash envelopes or my checking account cushion, or it is possible that it might come out of our joint account. I know I do have a joint checking account with my husband, or maybe Chris just outright pays for it. Chris has his own money too sometimes. Most of the time, I will say a good portion of the time when we eat out, like especially on the weekends for anything to do with his sports or anything like that, Chris is paying for us to eat. So that's because we don't fully combine our finances, and that works for us. So that's done. Now we're getting into July, like I said, Monday. So the one thing that if you are using the Budget by Paycheck workbook, I highly recommend you get this calendar done. Get your budget calendar done because you should have your first paycheck in July already finished. This should be done before you get your paycheck. Now, if you are wondering about a sneak peek or an overview look at the brand new Budget by Paycheck workbooks that we have coming out in here just in a few short months, watch my Instagram because I'm going to be doing a full reel and video going over that in the next couple of days. And other than that, I'm in my full maintain phase. It's boring. It's not exciting. There's not a lot to show, but that's also financial management. Not every day you're going to be celebrating ginormous wins. Not every day you're going to be scrambling to get things done. In fact, if it feels like this, if you're going through a maintain phase, you're probably doing things right. Okay. Maintain phase is what actually gets you through to the bigger wins. So I'm going to actually start working on what I want to work on today is my October budget calendar spread. You can see I have the rest kind of prepped. Now I want to get into October, November, and December and get those done. And that is my Monday morning routine.